Hello friends, welcome back. My name is PK. In this video, you will learn how to create sale purchase and inventory management system in Excel VBA. So as you are seeing my screen, I have created this user form in VBA. In this user form, I have taken the sale purchase feature as well as the inventory management. You can see the product label, available stock using this user form, and you can track your sale purchase transaction also. You can use this tool for a small store. Now I will explain you the features. So this is the date range. From here you can select the date range like start date, end date, and the data will be displayed accordingly. By default it will take today's date. Now here we have given the small section wherein you can see your numbers. Within this date range you have purchased the goods of this amount and we have made the sales of this amount. This is our total profit. And this is the inventory, or you can see the available stock. So these are the total numbers for all products. This is a total quantity. And now this is the value of the inventory. So this is the total amount of your available inventory. Now here we have displayed the available stocks. So by the product you can see the available stocks. So we have taken some dummy products here. For product 10 we have only 7 units. Alright, so accordingly you can take the decision, okay, which one you should purchase. So for example, the product 10 has only 7 stocks, so you should purchase this product. Alright, and you can see the other also. This is available in ascending order, so the less available stock will be on top. If you have the long list, you can search using the search box also. If you want to see any specific product, let's say here I am just putting product 4. Then I will press enter, or I can click on refresh. Then that product 4 will be available and you can see the available stock for that. Even if you will type only 4, it will display the product 4 and product 14. So basically it is using the Excel content feature. Alright. Now if you want to export to Excel, then you can click on this button. It will export this data into new Excel. Now in this section you can make your sale purchase transaction. Now for example, we want to purchase product 10. So what I will do, I'll select here product 10, then I will put some quantity. Let's say I want to purchase the 100. Now my new stock will be 107 because I have already available 7 in stock. Now I'm going to purchase 100 more. Transaction date you can put, by default it will be today. If you are putting some backdated transaction, you can change the date here using this calendar. So I'm not going to change this. Then the transaction type, I'm going to purchase this. Automatically it will pick up the purchase rate from the product master. I'll show you the product master also. Now I'm just going to click on add. As soon as I will click on add, you can see the transaction has been added. You can see in the available stock product 10 has now 107 and our inventory also has got updated, total quantity and the inventory amount also. Now in the show transaction we have given 3 option button. It is just displaying all transaction. If you want to see only purchase transaction, you can select the purchase. So it will display only the purchase transaction. So this is the transaction we just have made. We have purchased product 10 100 quantity. Alright, so the price was 16.28, the total amount this, and this was the date. If you want to see the sale, then you can see the sale here. If you want to export this to the new Excel, you can click on this button. Now I'll show you how can you put a sale. So the product 10 is now 107. Let's say I'm going to sell product 10 7 quantity. Now the quantity should be 100 once we will sell 7. Then let me select the sale. And the sale price will automatically pop up here, and let me click on add button. As soon as I will click on add button, my sale amount should be updated, my profit also should be updated, inventory should be updated, and inventory amount should be updated. Let me click on add. You can see Now we have 100, our inventory also updated, profit also, and the sale and inventory amount. Now let me select the sell transaction. So you can see this is the transaction we just have made. If let's say we want to make some changes, by mistake we have put the incorrect quantity, so just double click here, you can change the quantity. Let's say I want to put here 5 only, then I will click on update. As soon as I will click on update, that will be updated here, and all the records including profit, sale, inventory will be updated. You can see the available stock for product 10 is now 102. Alright, so it's totally dynamic. Now I'll show you the product master. So I'll click on the product master. In the product master, you can see we have the unique records of our products. You can add a new product, putting the number here. We have used the sale price, purchase price, and the same you can put here. So let's say I want to add a new product. I'll put the new product name. Let's say I'm putting here notebook. And I will put here some purchase price. Let's say purchase price is 10.35, and the sale price, I'll keep some higher number of the sale price. So let's say I'm just putting 13.25. So there will be some profit because we are purchasing on this price and we will sell on this price. So I'll click on add. The new product, which is notebook, will be added here. If you want to update this, just double click here and you can update the price. Let's say I want to put 13.55, and I will click on update only. That will be updated here, you can see. Let me close this product master. As soon as I will close this, you can see in available stock, my notebook also will be available, and it will be top because we don't have any stock. We have not purchased notebook so far. We just have added in our product master. Now I will go to the sale purchase transaction and I will select the notebook from here. That will be available. Just select this, and now let's say I want to purchase 50 unit of this. The transaction date you can select. Transaction type will be purchase. I want to purchase this. Just click on add. As soon as we have clicked on add, you can see the notebook, we have 50 notebook available now, and the inventory amount will be updated automatically. The purchase amount also will be updated. You can see the purchase transaction, this will be available here. So friends, that's how you can use this tool. Now I will explain you step by step how can you develop this in Excel VBA. Alright, so please pause this video till the end. Let's start without delay. Let me close this form. Here I have given this button to display this form. Now what I will do, I'll add a new workbook. Just press Ctrl N. This book 2 has been added. I will save this book 2 as macro enable. So just save, press F12 to save the file. And let's say I want to save this as book 2, but I will keep it as Excel macro enabled workbook. Just save this. Now we will start designing our user form. Before start the designing user form, I would like to design the sheet first, wherein our data will be available. So let me add a worksheet. This will be my product master worksheet. Now I will add another worksheet, and this will be my sale purchase worksheet. Alright, so we will add few other worksheet also. I'll explain you as we will move forward in this video. So let me go to the developer tab and Visual Basic. And here this is the form which we have designed in this inventory management. This code we can put in 4 different parts. First part is this top part, and the second is this available stock part, and third one is this sale purchase, and the fourth one we can put in the product master, and we have to design new user form for product master. Alright, so let me go to the book 2, and here what I will do, I'll insert a user form first. So just go to the insert and insert a user form. So this is our user form. Just make slightly bigger like this. Right click, go to the properties. You can rename your user form. Let's say I'm putting here inventory management system. Name we can put here FRM inventory management. Alright, now let's say we want to change the design and the back color. So what we can do, we can go to the special effect. You can change the special effect from here. Let's say I want to keep this one, and then I will change the back color. So I'll go to the back color here, and let's say I want to take the white color, and just close this. This form is ready. Now we can put some title on the top first. So I'll go to the toolbox. This is the toolbox, and here I will take this image, drag this image here, right click, go to the properties and change the back color. So back color, I'll take some dark color. Let's say I'm taking this one, and we can remove the border style also. Just remove this. Now I will put a label. So I'm putting this label, and here I will rename this as, let's say, inventory management system, or you can change the title as you want. So right click, go to the properties. We can change the font name. Let's say here I'm taking Arial rounded empty bold, slightly bigger, this one. And the alignment we will take center, and the font color we will take white, this one. And now move this here. We will remove the background. So just go to the back style, double click here, the background will be removed. Alright, now if I will run, it will look like this. Now we will design our top section like we have designed here. So what I will do, I'll create a frame first. So let's take this frame, right click, go to the properties, just change the caption as date range, and we will put our start date and date here. So let's take a label, just click here and just rename this as start date and move this here. Now we will take a text box. So this is the text box, just click here and just click here, right click, go to the properties and just scroll it down and change the effects. Let's say we are taking this one, just close this. And you can change the text box name also. Right click, go to the properties, you can put here, let's say, txt start date. So we have put the text box name as txt start date. Close this and move this here. Alright, so this is for start date. Now we can make a copy of this and just paste here. This can be for the end date. So just change the label caption, take here end date, and we will rename the text box name also. Right click, go to the properties. Here we will take txt end date. Now we will put calendar icon here. So this is simple image. We can copy this from here also and just paste this here. So this is simple image. Then we will put a refresh button. So just go to the toolbox and create a command button. So let me rename this as refresh and move this here. So our date range frame is ready. Now I'll copy this refresh button and I will paste this here. I will rename this as product master. Just move this here and I will copy this and paste again, and I will create a save button also. So just rename this as save, which will save our workbook. Alright, so now we will create this section, these 5 boxes, the colorful boxes. Alright, to create these boxes, I'll take the image. So just click on this image and just drag this here. Right click, go to the properties, and here we will select some back color. So go to the back color, and from the palette you can select some dark colors. Let's say I'm selecting first one, this one, and border we will take here none. Alright, so now we can put some label here. Let's take a label, or you can copy this here also. Just copy and paste this here. Right click, go to the properties. We will change the font and the text align as center. Double click here and the font. So just go to the font. Let's say here I'm taking Arial rounded empty bold around 14 or 12 size, and the 4 color I will take white because we have dark background, and just move this here. By default value I'm putting here 0. And we will update the numbers here. So we will keep a proper name of this label. Right click, go to the properties, and here I will put LBL purchase. Alright, I'll make a copy of this, copy and paste and move this here. Rename, and we will put here purchase. We will change the size slightly smaller. Now select both the labels and image together. Right click, go to the align and align these center. And then right click, make this group. So it will be available together. We can copy this and we can paste this again, and now we will move this here. We will paste this again. Just move this here. Alright, so we have made 4 more copies of this first group. So just select all the group, right click, align top, and then go to the format, horizontal spacing, make equal. Alright, now we will change the background color. Select this image inside this group, right click, go to the properties, then back color, we will take some other color. Let's say I'm taking this one, or you can take any other. So I'm just taking the dark colors only. Then I will select this label and I will rename this as, let's say, LBL sale, and here I will put the caption as sale. So this is for sale is ready. Now similarly I will change the other three also quickly. Alright friends, so I have changed all the boxes. I have renamed these labels as LBL profit, LBL inventory quantity, LBL inventory amount. Now if I will run, then our user form will look like this. Now we will design the other things. So we will create this available stock frame first. Go to the toolbox and here I will go to the frame and I will drag a frame here. Right click, go to the properties. I will rename this frame caption as available stock. Now in this available stock, we will put a text box. So I can copy this text box. I will paste this here, and this will be our search text box, right? So just right click, go to the properties, rename this as txt search. Now we will put two buttons. So just copy any button and paste this here and put this here. So I will rename this as refresh. Just auto size this, copy and paste. And the second we will put here extract or export to Excel. Alright, now I'll go to the toolbox. I'll take this list box and I will drag this list box here. Right click, go to the properties, and then I will go to the special effect. I'll take, let's say, this special effect for the list box. Then I'll take some background color also. So let's say I'm taking some light background color. I'm taking this one. You can take any other color also. So our available stock frame is also ready. Now we will create another frame for sale purchase transactions. So I'll go to the frame, I'll design this frame here, right click, go to the properties, change the caption as sale purchase transactions. Then we will design this form like we have designed here, this one. So first we will create another frame to add update. So what I will do, I'll take another frame and just drag this frame, right click, go to the properties, and just change the caption as add update. In this add update frame, we will put first the product combo box. So let's copy any label and just paste here and just rename this as product. Move this here and we will create a combo box. So just go to the toolbox and we will take this combo box and just click here. Right click, go to the properties, we will change the special effects. So let's say I'm taking this one, and in the style, in place of combo we will take list. Alright, the list row is currently 8. We will put here 20, 25 so that on one drop down at least 25 product can be visible, and after that the scroll will be available there. Now I'll take a text box for quantity. So let me copy label and text box from here and I will paste this here. This is for quantity. You can fill the quantity here. Now I will take another text box for transaction date. You can make the backdated transaction also. So let me copy these three. Select, copy and just paste here. So let's keep only date. Put this here and this one here. Now we will make a copy of this combo box and label, copy and paste this here, and we will put here type or transaction type. Let's say I'm putting type, and here we will give the drop down as sale purchase. Alright, then let me copy this and paste, and here we will display our rate. Now we will copy a command button, copy and paste this here, make slightly smaller, move this here. This will be our add. Then we will create another command button to update. Alright, so let's quickly align these. So just select these three, right click, go to the align, and we'll align this middle. Similarly here we will align these middle. align these. Okay, now quickly we will rename the text box and combo box. Just right click on this combo box, go to the properties, and we will put here, let's say, CMB product. And for this one we will put, this is the text box quantity, so we'll put here txt quantity, and here we will put txt and date, and for this we will put here txt type, and here txt rate, and just close this. In the sale purchase transaction we have created the first frame. The second frame is this show transaction and this extract button and this list box also. So here we will create another frame. So just go to the toolbox and here we'll take this frame, drag this frame here, right click, go to the properties, and we'll take show transactions and just close this. And we will put the option button here. So just go to this option button and just click here. The first option button will be for all transaction. Copy this and paste. The second will be for purchase. Now we will make a copy this and paste. The third one will be for sale. Select these three, align top, and go to the format, horizontal spacing, make equal. Alright, so this is option button 1. You can see in the properties option button 2, and then this is option button 3 for sale. Now we will put command button, copy, and put this here, export to Excel or extract to Excel. Now we will create a list box. So we can copy this list box, we can paste this here, just change the size. Alright, if I will run this, so our form will look like this. So our first form is ready. Now the second form is the calendar. The calendar I have already explained in my previous videos, how to design the calendar in VBA, and you can download this from my website. This is free available and you can use this, you can integrate this with your VBA project. So let me move this calendar here as it is. So just using the mouse, I'm just moving this here. Now you can see it is available. For the product master, this one we will quickly design this form also. So to design this form, I'll insert another form. Just go to the user form, just insert a user form from here, or you can go to the insert and user form. Change the size, right click, go to the properties, rename caption as product master. Here also the back color, let's say we are taking this white one, and then the special effect, I'm taking this one. And quickly we can design like this. So let's say copy this image and this label, copy and paste on the product master. So we can move this here like this, rename this as product master. If you want to change the size of this image, you can change the size also. Select this label, go to the format and go to the center in form and select horizontally. It will available horizontally centered. Alright, now quickly I will design this form in this way. So to design this form, what I will do, I'll go to this form. From here I will select one text box and label, copy and paste this here. Here I will put product, right click, go to the properties, and we will rename this as txt product. Then I will copy this, put this here, and I will rename this as sale price or purchase price. Then I will make a copy of this, and this time I will put here sale price. Then we will put some command button to add, update and extract. So I'll copy this add update button from here and I will paste this here. Now I'll copy the list box from here. Let's say I'm taking this list box and I will paste this here, this here. If you want to put one more button to extract, let's say export to Excel. Alright, so if I will run, it will look like this. You can align this properly. So our design part is ready. Now we will start our coding part. In the coding part, I will explain you each and every step. So let's start the coding part from the product master. Go to the product master. So in the product master, first we will create the code for this add button. So what I will do, let me go to the worksheet first, the product master worksheet. So this is the product master worksheet. So let's add some headers here. So I'm just taking, let's say first one is the serial number or the ID column. Then I'm taking product. Then let's say I'm taking sale price or purchase price. Then purchase price. Alright, so this will be our product master header. Now double click on this add button. So on this add button, what we can do, we can put some validations first. The first validation is this product text box should not be blank. So I will use here if me.txt product.value equal to blank, then it will give some message. Please enter the product name and then exit sub. Alright, the first validation. Now let me copy this and I will paste this here. The second validation is here should be some numeric value always. Alright, so what I will do, I'll use here if is numeric and then I will take me.txt. We have not renamed the other boxes, so let me rename those first. So let me go to the design and here we should take txt purchase price and here let's say txt sale price. Then here we will put if me.txt purchase price and this should be the numeric. So we will put here is numeric txt purchase price equal to false. If this is not numeric, we will put some message. So let me copy this code and put this here. We'll change the message like please enter the correct purchase price. And same we will make a copy of this validation and paste this here. And this time we will take txt sale price dot value. This time we will put here sale price. Alright, so we have put the three validations. The next validation we will put here check duplicate. If you have added the product already, then it should not allow the add duplicate product. Checking the duplicate, what I will do, I'll take the worksheet first. So dim sh as worksheet, set sh equal to this workbook.sheet and I will take product master. Okay, then I will use here if application dot worksheet function dot count if, then we will count the sh dot range and the product is available on column B. The first column is the serial number, second is the product name. On the column B and the txt product value. So if this count is greater than 0, that means it is already available there. So I will put some message. This product is already available in product master. Alright, so these are the validations. Once we have validated all the things, then we will add the data. Let's say I'm taking last row variable dim lr as integer, lr equal to I'll take application dot worksheet function dot count a and I will count any column. So let's say a to a. So we will get the last row, then we will start adding the data. So we will add the data on first column sh.range a and lr. LR is the last row. We will add data after the last row. So we'll add LR plus 1 dot value. In the first, we will put some value. So let me go to the worksheet and I'll show you. The first will be the serial number. In the serial number, we will put here 1. We can simply take the LR. LR will be this one. So we will put here the LR value. And here we will put the product. Here we will put the sale price, then purchase price. Alright, so let's go to the Visual Basic. Here we will put the LR. Then sh.range b and LR plus 1 dot value will be, here we will put me.txt product dot value. And similarly just copy and paste this here and paste this here. For C and for D, for C we will take sale price, then here we will take the purchase price. Once we have added the data, all the boxes should be clear. So what I will do, I'll copy this and I'll put the value as blank. Then I'll copy the second one, value blank, the third one, the value should be blank. Here we can put some message like product has been added in product master. Alright, so let me run this and let's check. Let's say I'm putting a product name as notebook. Purchase price, let's say I'm putting 5.25 and the sale price I'm putting 7.35 or 65 and just click on add. The same has been added and you can see on the worksheet it is available. Now let's check the validations. If I will click on add, first validation, please enter the product name. Let's say I have added a product name as product 1 and then it is saying please enter the correct purchase price. If I will put here any text, then it will give me the same error. So let's say I have put here some numeric value, then it will give me the please enter the correct sale price. So our validations are working. Now we will put a code to display the data in this list box. As soon as we should click on this add button, the data should be displayed in this list box. Alright, so just double click here and we will create a sub procedure here, show data, and this show data will take first worksheet. So dim sh as worksheet and set sh equal to this workbook dot sheets, and here I will take product master. In the product master, first we should take the last row till where data is available. So we can copy this code actually. So let me copy this code to save the time, and this will return the last row. Now we can use with me dot listbox1 and with, and here we will use dot column count. So column, we know we have only 4 columns in the product master. Then we will take column heads. Yes, we have the headers in the data, so we'll use true. Then the column width. Column width you can define. Let's say first one is the serial number. Do you want to display the serial number? You can display. Let's say I'm taking the width of the serial number as 50 or 60 only. Then comma. The second is the product name. It can be slightly bigger, so I'm just putting 150. Then the sale price. Sale price, let's say I'm taking 80, and the purchase price also I'm taking 80. Alright. Then the row source. Row source we will take product master, the worksheet name, column A2, and our data is available till column D. Right, so we'll take D, and the last row is the LR. Alright. So this is our show data, and then we can call this show data once we have added our data here. So let me put here call show data. Alright, and this should be called as soon as the user form will display. So I'll use the user form also. So just select the user form from here, this one, user form, and the user form click event has been generated, and here we will select activate and just call this show data. So as soon as user form will be activated, it will call this show data. As soon as the form will be activated, it will show the product list. Now one thing I would like to tell you, let me close this. If I will remove product from here, let's say we don't have any product, then if I will run this, then what will happen? It is displaying the column here, right, the column name, but it should not display the column name, because in this case the last row is the 1, so it is taking from A to 1. However, our data always should start from A2. So what we can do here, we can put a condition. If LR equal to 1, then LR should be 2. That means the last row always will be 2 or greater than 2. Alright, if I will run this. Okay, so the add part and the display data part is completed. Now we will put our code to update button. To put the code on update button, first we need another text box to capture the ID or the serial number. So let me copy any text box and paste this here. Let's say I'm just moving this here. Right click, go to the properties. I'm putting the name as txt ID. I will double click on this list box, and data should be captured including ID here in these boxes. So just double click on this. This click event will be generated, but we want to put on double click. So select the event, double click, and delete this event. Alright. Now here what we will do, we'll use me dot, first of all txt id dot value will be me dot listbox1 dot list, and here we will use me dot list box 1 dot list index comma the column. So serial number is available on the first column, so the column index will be 0. Alright, then we can make the copy of this. The second, we will capture the product name, txt product, and product is available on second column, so we'll take here 1. The next we will take txt sale price is available on number 2, so we'll take here 2. Then txt purchase price will take here 3. Alright, so let's run this and let's add some product first. So let me add notebook, let's say, and just click on add button. So one product is available here. If I will double click, then you can see all the price has been filled automatically and the ID also available. Alright, so let's say I'm adding another product, pencil 2.1 3.65, add. We have added another one. If I will double click here, it will capture the other IDs, and just close this. Now we will put our code on update button. So what I will do, I'll just click on add button and I'll copy entire code from here. Then I'll go to the update button, double click on update button, I'll paste the same code. I'll make the necessary changes. So few validation will remain same, like these 3 validations, and then I'll not check here duplicate, so I'll remove this validation from here, and now in place of add data we will update data. And this time the LR we will take row number which is available in the text box. So I'll use here me text box id dot value. So it will update the data, then it will make this clear. So I'll use here me.txt id.value and it should be blank. We have removed the sh code from there. So let me put here dim sh as worksheet and set sh equal to this workbook dot seeds, and here I will take product master. Here we will put the product has been updated. Alright, so our update part is also ready. Now we will put the code on this export to Excel. So just double click here. Here I will put a simple code. So I'll take here dim nwb as workbook, and I will set nwb equal to workbooks dot add. And then I will copy the data from the product master and I will paste on the first sheet of this new workbook. So I will use here this workbook dot sheets product master dot used range dot copy, and we will copy this to nwb dot sheets and the first sheet dot range a1. That's it. So let me run this. If I will click on export to Excel, it will copy the data to new Excel workbook. Alright, so our product master coding part is ready. Now we will start the coding on inventory management user form. So just double click on this user form. So first we will put our coding in the initialization of this user form. So I'll take initialize here, this one, and now delete this code. So whatever we want to display the default we will put here. So first of all we want to display some default date. So I'll use me.txt and we have the start date there. So I'll use here start date dot value. I'll display, let's say, today's date. I'll use here format and I'll take today's date. So I'll use here date for today. Then format I will display in DMMM and YYYY format, and just close. Same date I want to put for the end date also. So in place of txt start date I'll take txt end date. Same date I want to display for the transaction date available in sale purchase transaction. Let me show you. So we are putting the default date for this box and for this box also, and we will put the same date. So just put this here. So here I will take txt date. Now let me run this. As soon as I will run, you can see the dates are available here, but somebody can change manually also. So what I will do, I'll lock these 3 boxes. So just select these 2, right click, go to the properties and use enable false here. select this text box, use enable false here. Alright, now if I will run, you can see you can't change it manually. Now we can put our code to change the date on this calendar button. First double click on this calendar button, and here I will use call, and I will call the calendar dot selected date, and here I will pass the control name. So control is me.txt start date. That's it. So let me copy this code, and same code I will put on the another button. The difference is I'll take me.txt end date, and same thing I will do for this button also, and I'll take me.txt date. Let me run this. If I will click here, it will open this calendar. I'll select any date, whatever date I will choose here. Let's say I'm choosing 12, that will be available here, and same for this one also. Alright, so our calendar is working fine. Now we will put the code on these two buttons. So just double click on this product master button, and here we will display the product master. So I'll use here frm underscore product master dot show, and the model I'll take false. If I will run this, click on product master, you can see our product master form will be opened. You can close this. From the product master, we should hide this txt id. Okay, this is the support text box. So let me hide this. Select this, go to the properties, and make this visible false. If I will run, then you can see that will not be visible. Alright, now we'll put the code on the save button. So just double click, and this will be simple. This workbook dot save, and put some message. Let's say data has been saved. Alright, so let me run. If I will click here, then data has been saved and the file will be saved. So first we will start coding on sale purchase transactions. Alright, so once data will be available there, then we can calculate the available stocks, and we can calculate the other things also. Let's go to the sale purchase table first. This is our sale purchase table. So here first we will take serial number or the ID column, then we will take product, then we will take the transaction type, or you can take only type, which is sale or purchase. Then we will take the quantity, and then we will take the rate or price, whatever you want to put. Then we will put the amount, and after that I would like to calculate my profit. If it is a sale, then it should give some profit also. If the transaction is purchase, then you can put here NA or blank. So I'm just putting here profit. Alright, so this will be our sale table. Now we will start our coding to add the data here. Same thing we will do. We'll go to the inventory management, and we'll double click on this add button, and we will start our coding here in this section. So we will put some validations, then we will start our coding here. So what we are going to do, as soon as we will select some product and some type, the rate should be reflect automatically from the product master table. Alright, so what we can do, we can put some code on the change value of this combo box and this combo box. Okay, so what I will do here, so just double click on this combo box, and here I'll take a variable for worksheet. So dim sh as worksheet, set sh equal to this workbook dot seeds. I'll take product master seed. So first condition, what I will do, I'll take if me.cmb product combo box product dot value is equal to blank, or me.cmb type dot value equal to blank, then our rate or the price text box should be blank. Alright, so I'll use here me.txt rate dot value equal to blank. It should display automatic value only when product combo box has some value and the type combo box has some value. So far we have not added the product combo box drop down and the type combo box, right? So we will add these drop down also. So before adding that, so let me complete this code, then I will put the code to add the drop down. Alright, so we'll take here blank, or you can take simply here also, and you can delete this and if. So this is one line if, and now I'll use here if me dot cmb type dot value. If this value is equal to, let's say, sale, then the sale amount should be updated. So I'll use here then. In the else case, there should be some other amount should be updated. So if it is sale, then I will use here me dot txt rate dot value, and I will use here VLOOKUP formula. So I'll use here application dot worksheet function dot VLOOKUP, and we will use the VLOOKUP from product master. So we will use here the lookup value. We will take me dot cmb product. Then I'll use here sh, which is the product master seed dot range v2d. Alright, so let me show you. This is product master from B to D. Sale price is available on number 2 and the purchase price is available on number 3. So I'll take here sale price 2, 0. So it will give the sale price. If I will put this code here, and this time I'll take number 3. Now as soon as we should load this form, the drop down should be created automatically, these two. Alright, so we have to put this code on the initialization of this user form. In the initialization of this user form, the type always will remain same, so we can add the drop down for type or the transaction type. So I'll use type. I'll add here, first I will add one blank item, then I will add here sale, then I will add here purchase. So these two items we have added for type drop down. Now we will add for the product list also. Some other subroutine, I'll use here sub add product list. Here I'll take a variable dim sh as worksheet, set sh equal to this workbook dot seeds, and I will take product master. I'll take another variable dim I as integer, and here I will use for I equal to, I'll take 2, and I will use here application dot worksheet function dot count a. Will take the last row, or we are just going to take the count of products available in product master. So I'll use here sh dot range a to a. Next I. First of all, we will make the clear list. So I'll use here me dot, outside the loop we will use me dot cmb product dot clear, and add the first item as blank. So I'll use outside the loop me dot cmb product dot add item, use the blank. Inside the loop we will take the value from column number B. So I'll use here me dot cmb product dot add item. I'll use sh dot range column number B and the row number I. Dynamically it will add the items. We can call this on the initialization of this user form. Call this here. Alright, so now let me show you. If I will run this, then you can see the drop down here of the products, and same thing here. Now as soon as we will select sale purchase, it should be changed. So we have not put that code on the change event of this combo box. So what I will do, I'll copy this code available on the product change of this combo box, copy this code, then double click on this type and paste the same code here also. Run this. If I will select anything here, it is just giving the rate irrespective of the type. So what we can do, we can put the code here also, else if here we can put the purchase, and same thing we can do. So let's run this. If I will select, it will not give the directly rate because we have to select the sale or purchase. Accordingly it will give the rate, but we are able to change the rate manually also. So what we can do, we can log this text box also. Select this rate text box, go to the properties and enable this false. If I will run, you can see I can select and it is locked. Now we can select the date. Now we can start working on the add button. Double click on this add. So we will put some validations. So the first validation, make sure you have selected the product. So I'm just going to put here if me dot cmb product dot value is blank, then We will put some message here. Please select the product, exit sub. Make the copy of this and just paste this here. The second, make sure you have put some quantity. So we will put here if is numeric, and we will take me.txt quantity is false. If it is not a numeric, then we can put some message. Please enter correct quantity. Alright, so now we have put the validation for product, quantity, date will be available already there, so we should not put any validation. Type, we can put the validation, so we can copy this code and we can paste this here. me.cmb type, then we can put here, select the type. Alright, so our validation part is completed. We can simply add the data now. Add data. To add the data, first we will take the last row. So I'm just taking a variable dim lr as long, and I'm taking lr equal to application dot worksheet function dot count a, and I will use the count from the sale purchase sheet. So before putting this, we have to take another variable. So let me take here dim sh as worksheet and set sh equal to this workbook dot seats, and here we will take sale purchase. Here we can take sh dot range a to a. Alright, now we can start adding the data. So we will add the data on sale purchase worksheet, on this worksheet. So first we will put the serial number. Serial number we can put the simple row -1, or we can use the lr also. So we will use sh dot range a and lr +1 dot value, and we will take here, let's say lr. Make the copy of this record. So here we will take b, c, d, e, f and g. So we have the data till g. The second, we will put the product. So to putting the product, what I will do here, I'll use here me.cmb product.value. Then here we will put the type. So we will use me.cmb type.value. The next on D, we will put the quantity. So I'll use here me.txt quantity.value. The next is price. So for the price is the rate. So I'll use here me.txt rate.value. The next is amount. So amount we will put the calculated, which will be rate multiply quantity. So I'll use here rate multiply quantity. This one. Last one is the profit. So let me explain you the profit on the Excel first. So profit. So let's say I'm just putting some manually one product, and let's say I'm taking notebook here, and if I will put here purchase, the profit will be any. We cannot calculate the profit for purchase, but if type is sale, then what will be the profit? So the profit will be, let's say we have sold 10 quantity. What will be the price? So we can use the VLOOKUP and we can take the sale price from here. So sale price, so this was the sale price, and the amount we can multiply this. Now to calculate the profit, first we will get the purchase price of this notebook. To get the purchase price, what we will do, we will use the VLOOKUP using this one, and we will get the purchase price from here 3,0. So this is the purchase price. Now we will multiply it by the quantity. So our purchase amount was this and sale amount is this. So to get the profit, we can use our sale amount minus purchase amount, which is 8.5. all right, we can use the same formula. Okay, so let me go to the Visual Basic, and here we can create some formula. Like I'll use if, and I'm using me.cmb type dot value is purchase, then this value will be NA. We cannot calculate the profit in case of purchase. Alright, in the else case, if type is not purchase, if type is sale, in that case we will put here some formula, and that formula will be this value equal to, we will calculate the purchase price. So I'll use here application dot worksheet function dot VLOOKUP, and I will use me.cmb product, and I'll use here the product master worksheet. So I'll use here this workbook dot worksheet, and I'll use here product master comma dot range v2d. Alright, and the purchase price on number 3 comma 0. So we have got the purchase price, and we multiply this purchase price by the quantity. So our quantity is this one, so I will multiply it by this value, multiply the quantities. This is our purchase. So what I will do, what is my sale? This one, this multiply this. So I'll use this multiply this minus my purchase price. That will be my profit. Once we have updated our profit also, then we will make our boxes clear. So I'll use here clear boxes. Let me copy this. The value should be blank. Okay, so we have made all the boxes blank. We can add some message. Let's say data has been added. Now let me run this. Let's say I'm selecting here pen sale, quantity I'm putting 10, sale, and just click on add. Data has been added. So this data has been added. If you will see in the sale purchase table, we have missed the date or the transaction date here. We should add the date column also. So let me add the date column, and then I will make a little change in the add button, and the date column is available on column H. So we can use here, let me copy one line code from here, and we can use here column H, and we will use me.txt date.value. So the date also will be added here. Now we will put our code to display the data in this list box, and we will display the filtered data. Alright, because the data should be displayed within this date range only, and we should display whatever column is selected here. So let me select by default this one. So right click, go to the properties, and the value we will put here by default true for the first option button. By default it will display all. If somebody has selected purchase, then it should display the purchase records only. Alright, so we have to display the filtered data also. So what we can do, we can add another worksheet, that is sale purchase display. So according to the selection, we will filter the data from here, then we will copy the data to this worksheet, and then we will display the data to the list box from this worksheet. So double click on this user form. Here we will create a subroutine, sub show sale purchase data. Alright, so first I'll take a worksheet, DSH as worksheet, and then I'll take another worksheet as SH as worksheet. Okay, now I'll set DSH equal to this workbook dot seats, and here I will take sale purchase. Then I will take SH, and in the SH I will take sale purchase display. So first what we will do, we will remove if there any filter available in sale purchase worksheet. So I'll use here DSH dot auto filter mode equal to false. Then we will put some filter. We will copy data from sale purchase to sale purchase display worksheet. So we'll put the filter here. First of all, we will put the filter for date. So make sure date column which is available on DSH.range. Let me show you this column, H column, number format is equal to DMMM by. So the number format should be proper. Okay, or we can take by. Now we will put the filter for date first. So I'll use DSH.usedRange.autoFilter, and date column is available on column H. So the field we will take 8. So I'll put here 8, comma, the criteria I'll take First, it should be greater than or equal to start date. So I'll put here greater than or equal to, and I'll put here start date, me.txt start date dot value. The second condition, so I'll use here Excel and the criteria 2 I'll use, it should be less than or equal to end date. So I'll use here me.txt end date dot value. Alright, so we have filtered the date. Now we will filter according to the option button selected. Like, do you want to display all records, or do you want to display only sales record, or do you want to display purchase records? Let me show you on the form. So we have given these three option buttons. If this option button is selected, which is option button 2, then purchase should be displayed. If this is option button 3, then sales should be displayed. Otherwise, all records should be displayed. So what I will do here, I'll use dss.usedrange.autofilter, and we will filter by type available on column number 3, comma, we will use here purchase. So when we will use the purchase, so we will use a if condition, if me.option_button2.value equal to true, then it should filter the purchase. If the option button 3 is true, which is the sale, so we will use sale here. We will not use the filter for all, which is option button 1, because we don't need to filter anything. Alright, so we have filtered this. Now we will copy it. Before copying, make sure on the sh, which is the sale purchase display sheet, sh.userange.clear. So nothing should be available on this sheet. Now we will copy dss.userange.copy, and we will paste it on ss.range a1 dot paste special value and number format. Alright, so we have copied data from sale purchase sheet to sale purchase display sheet. Now we will display this data into list box. So display data in list box. Alright, so the list box is, so we can see this is the list box 2. You can see here, we'll display the data here with me.listbox2 and with. So first we'll define the last row. So I'll take dim lr as integer or long. So I'm taking here long. Then I'll take lr equal to application dot worksheet function dot count a, and we will take ss dot range a to a. Right, so we have got the last row, and again we will put the similar condition like if lr equal to 1, then lr should be 2. That means our last row should be always 2 or greater than 2. Okay. Now I'll use dot column counts. So how many columns do you want to display? We want to display 8 columns. Then I'll take column heads, yes, true, and then I'll take column width. So column width I'll take, first is the serial number. So if you want to show the serial number, you can show, otherwise I'm just going to keep 0 here. I don't want to show the serial number. Okay, so I'll take the width as 0. Now the second is product. So for the product, let's say I'm taking 120 at the moment. You can change it according to your requirement. Next one is the type, sale or purchase. So we will take here, let's say 60. Then we can see on the worksheet also. So this is the type, then the quantity, price, amount, profit and date. So we can take here, let's say 70 and keep 70 for all. Alright, now I'll take row source, and the row source will be, we are taking the sh. So sh.name and the colon sign a2, and we'll take till h, and last row lr. Alright friends, so this is to show the data. So just copy this, and first we will call this in user form initialize. So we will call this here, and the second thing we will call this once we will add the data. So double click here and we can call this here, and we will call this when you will change these selection also. So just double click and call this here, and same double click on this option button and call this here, and here also. Alright, so let me show you. As of now it is showing blank because we have not put any date. So let me close this, and this filter should be removed once data is copied from here to here. So let me unfilter this, and here I'm going to put some manual date. Let's say for the time being I'm putting 8 Feb, and same here. And now let me run this. You can see 2 records are available here. Okay, if I want to see the purchase, then no record is available here because purchase is not there, but I select the sale, then sale is available here because both the record for sale only. Alright, so our data is coming in this box. If I will add any new item, let's say again I'm putting some purchase for notebook, I'm putting 20 and I want to do some purchase, and just click on add. That should be available here. You can see a new record is available here. If I will select purchase, now one record will be available here. Alright, so once we have copied data from here to here, then we should remove the filter from here also. So what I will do here in this show data. So once I have copied data here, then I'll use DSS dot auto filter mode equal to false. Alright, so filter will be removed. Now we have created the code to display the data into this list box. Now we will put our code to update our record. Again, to update a record, we will create a ID text box to capture the row number or ID or serial number. So just copy and paste this here, and for the time being we can keep this here, let's say, and right click, go to the properties. The name of this text box we can keep txtid. Alright, now we can put some double click event. So just double click on this list box and select double click from here and delete this code. Now here, first of all, we will fill the value in ID text box. So I'll use here me.txtid.value. We will use here me.listbox2.list, and the row index we will use me.listbox2.list index, comma, and then we will put the column number. So column number will be 0 because we are putting the column index, right? So index will start from 0. So this is the first column, serial number column. So we'll use 0 here. Now make the copy of this and paste multiple times here. Now we will fill these values. First of all, we will fill the product value. So product value we will take here CMB product, and product is coming on column number 2, which is the index number 1. Okay. Now the second thing is the quantity. So quantity in the sheet is coming on column number 4. So we will use here txt quantity, and it is coming on column number 4. So we'll use here 3. Then we will take type. So CMB type, and it is coming on number 3. So we'll use here 2. We can put the rate also. So we can use here txt rate, and rate is coming on this one. The price is the rate, so it is coming on 5. So we'll put here 4. Then the amount and profit is calculated field, but date we can use on column number 8. So we can use here txt date, and it is coming on column number 8. So index number will be 7. Now let me run this. If I will double click, you can see all the things are filled, but the date is not proper format. So what I will do here, I'll use format here, format, and then this value, and I will format this as DMMM by. Alright, now let me run this. Double click here, the data will be filled. You can see the date is also getting filled, and this ID is also getting filled, you can see. Okay, now on the base of this ID we will update our data, so our entire code will remain same. I'll show you. So just double click on this add button, The same code will work for update also. Just copy entire code and just double click on this update button and paste this code here. Now the validation will remain same. In place of add, we can use the update data. The LR will be changed. Okay, so this is the row number wherein we will update our data, right? So what we can do, we can use here me.txt id dot value. Now let me show you. If I will run this, let's say I'm just selecting the first one, then the ID will be 1 and row number will be 2. So the first ID is available on row number 2. Okay, now here you can see if ID is 1, then it will put on row number 2. So the 1 plus 1 will be 2. Alright, so same data will be updated. Here we can put me.txt id.value equal to blank and data has been updated. Same will work. So now let's check. Run this. Let's say I'm just updating this one. So here I'm saying the quantity as 15, not 10. I put here 15, update, same will be updated. You can see the quantity is 15. Alright friends, so that is how you can create the update button also. Two things are pending here. One, we should hide this text box. The second is we will put code on export to Excel. Export to Excel, we can use the same whatever we have put here. So simple copy this code and go to this box. First let me hide this, right click, go to the properties and here we can make visible false. Double click on export to Excel and paste this here. This time it will copy the data from sale purchase display sheet. Rest will remain same. Let me show you. If I will click on export to Excel, it will copy all the data in the new Excel sheet. So just close this. If I will select, let's say purchase only, export to Excel, you can see the purchase records. Close this. Now two things are pending. One, this available stocks is not available there. The second thing is these numbers are not getting updated. So first let me put the available stock there. For the available stock, we will create another worksheet and let's keep it name as inventory. Here we will display our inventory. We will take product name, then we'll keep the unique products here and then we will take sale and the purchase, or you can keep the purchase first, then sale, and accordingly we will calculate the available stock and then we can calculate the stock value also. Okay, so what we will do, I'll show you manually. First we will copy the product from the product master. We'll copy this and we will paste this here. And now for the purchase, we will sum how much quantity we have purchased. So we'll use the SUMIF function. So we'll use SUMIF. We will go to the sale purchase. The sum range we will take this quantity. We have to get the sum of quantity, comma. Then we will take the criteria range. The criteria range we will take product. Then we will come to the inventory sheet and we'll take this product. Then we will go to the sale purchase again and we'll take the type. So we are going to get the count for, let's say, purchase. So we'll use here purchase and close. We are getting the count of purchase. Same formula we will use here, copy and paste this here. The only difference, in place of purchase we will use sale. Alright, so we are getting the sale purchase count. Now the available stock. Okay, so available stock will be purchase minus sale. That will be available. Stock value, what we will do, first we will get the sale price of this product. So we'll use the VLOOKUP and we'll use the VLOOKUP from product master. We'll take the sale price on number 2. So this is the sale price of this product and we will multiply by available stock. So the available stock is this one. So this will be the stock value. Alright. The same formulas we will put using the VBA. So let me go to the VBA and double click on this form and here we will create, let's say, sub show inventory. To show the inventory in the list box, first we will create the inventory table. So I'm just taking worksheet dim sh as worksheet and set sh equal to this workbook dot seats, and here we will use inventory. I'll use ss dot cells dot clear. So entire data will be removed. Now I'll use this workbook dot seats, and I will go to the product master sheet dot range, and I'll take product column, which is V2V dot copy, and I will copy this column to inventory sheet. Okay, now we have the unique product on column A. We will create some other headers like ss dot range. The V1 will be purchase, then we'll take C1, D1 and E1. The C1 will be sale, then D1 will be available stock, then stock value. Alright, so we have created the headers. These are the headers. Now we will put this formula. So first formula we will put this one on B2. So just copy this formula, and here we will put, first make sure we have any product available here. So what I will do, I'll get the last row first. So I'll use dim lr as long or integer, then I will use lr equal to application dot worksheet function, and here I will use sh dot range a to a. Now if lr is greater than 1, make sure we have 1 or greater than 1 records. Alright, then we will put this formula sh dot range, will put on b2 dot value, put this formula, and for purchase we will put double quote here. Now copy the same formula, and this is for C2. We will make only this difference. In place of purchase we will take sale. And now the third formula will be the simple one, this one. We'll use here sh dot range d2 dot value, then we will use sh dot range e2 dot value, and here we will put the formula whatever we have put here. Just copy this and paste this here. Alright, so we have put all the formulas. Now if we have more than one record, then we will fill down that formula to the other records also, right? So we will use if lr is greater than 2, then here what we will do, we will use sh dot range b2 dot e, and till the last row, whatever is the last row, we will fill this formula down. Alright, so once we have filled down this formula, so make sure you have calculated the worksheet. If somebody has put the calculation mode manual, then the formula may not update. So what we will do, we will use here sh dot calculate. Alright, now here sh dot used range dot copy, and we will use sh dot used range dot paste special values. So we have removed the formulas. Alright, so we have created here the inventory sheet. All the data will be available here. Now let me go to the form. We cannot show the data directly from this inventory sheet because we have given some search option also. So if you will type something here and you will search, so it should display the relevant product only. So what I will do, I'll create another worksheet and I will rename this as inventory display. Now we will copy the filtered data here to the inventory display and will display that data. So what I will do here, I'll take dim, let's say inventory display as worksheet, set, and I'll take this inventory display is equal to this workbook dot sheet inventory display. And then what I will do, any value is available here in this box, then if me dot txt search, this one dot value is not equal to blank, then, and if so, first we should remove any data available cells dot clear, and here we will put a filter. So I will use here sh dot used range and dot auto filter, and the field we will take first field because product is available there, and we will filter as contents. So I'll use the star sign here, and then I will take me dot txt search dot value, then I will take again a star sign. Alright, so it will filter the data as contents. For the notepad, if you will type only note, then still it will pick up notepad there. Now what I will do, I'll use access.userange.copy and I will paste this to the inb underscore display dot range a1. We have copied the data. Now we can show the data into the list box. To show the data, what we will do, redefine the last row here. So I'm just going to copy this and I will paste this here. In place of sh, I will use here inb. Now this time we will take the last row from inb, and I'll use with me dot listbox 1. This time we will take the listbox 1, which is for available stocks, and with. So I'll use here dot column count. So we have 4 columns. We can see here 5 columns. We'll take the 5 columns here. So let's take 5 dot. Here we will take column heads. We'll take true. Then we will take column width. So we want to display only available stocks. Rest we will keep hidden. So I will take 150 for the product name, comma. Then the next is sale purchase. I'll keep 0. So I'll put here 0, comma 0, comma. Then I'll take for the available stock, let's say 80, and again I'll take 0. I'll use row source here and equal to, I'll use the seat name. So we can use this seat name, or you can use simply inventory display dot name and exclamatory sign A2, and I will take E and LR. So again here, if no data is available, only header is available, then last row should be second. So I'll use if LR is equal to 1, then LR is equal to 2. So it will take last row at least row number 2. Now let me copy this. First we will display this on initialize. Just double click and call this here. Next, whenever we will update or add any transaction in sales purchase table, the inventory should be updated. So I'll use here add, and then I will call this here and update. I'll call this here. Alright, so let me run this. Okay, so declaration should not be taken again. So let's run this. Here you can see the available stock for pencil is coming in negative because we have not put the purchase first, and we can remove this scroll also by changing the width. So what I will do, take here let's say 120 for the product, and for the available stock I'll take 70. Let's check. Yes, now it's perfect. Alright, so available stock is also ready. If I will type here let's say book, and I will click on refresh. So we have not put the code on refresh, so let me put the code on refresh also first. Just copy this, go to the refresh button, double click here, call this, run. Let's type here book and refresh. You can see only notebook is available. Alright, so it's working. Now we will put the code on extract button. So it will be the similar code, whatever we have put here. Double click and you can copy this code, paste this code here. This time we will take inventory display. Let's check this. If I will click on extract, here you go. So let me change the spelling of this. Alright, so this part is completed. Now we will display the report here. And one thing I would like to tell you friends, if you are on product master, so let me show you. If we are on product master, we will add a product, let's say product 1. and here I'm putting some dummy price, add, so that will be added. Then as soon as I will close this form, that product should be available here also. So what I will do, I'll double click on this product master form and I'll select the query close here in the drop down. So we will put some event on query close, right? So we will call here call, and we will call from FRM inventory management form dot, we will call here add product list first, then we will call show inventory also. Alright, so let's run this. Now you can see the product 1 is available here. If I will click on product master, let's say I'm adding another product 2, putting some price 5 and 10, add, it is available here. As soon as I will close, that will be available here also and here also. Alright, so it is completed. Now we'll display our dashboard, so we'll put the number here. To putting the number here, to make it easy, what I will do, I'll create a sheet and I will rename this as, let's say, report, and here I will put start date, end date. Let's say I'm putting some dummy date here, I'm putting 8 Feb and here also. And now I need purchase, then sale and profit and inventory quantity and inventory. We need these things. Alright, so we can put here formula to get the purchase. What we can do, we can get the purchase from sale purchase, right? So this is the purchase type and we can get the purchase amount. So we have the amount column, we have this column, and the third column is the date column. So we can put the formula here. So let's go to the report sheet and let's put the sum ifs formula. So we'll use here sum ifs, and first we'll take the sum range. So we'll go to the sale purchase sheet and here we will take this amount column, comma, the criteria range 1. So the criteria range 1 will be type and we will put here purchase, or you can link it with this cell also, because here again we are taking purchase, comma, then we will take the criteria 2. So criteria 2 will take date, and date should be equal to or greater than start date. So and will take equal to and greater than start date, this date. So just freeze this, press F4, comma, again we'll take the same criteria, date, the date should be less than or equal to end date. So we'll take this date, press F4, press enter. We are getting the purchase quantity. Same, you can fill this down to get the sale amount, purchase amount and sale amount. And the profit, so profit we can get this column. So the only difference is we'll take this column and we will not take any kind of type, right? So what I will do here, I'll use the same formula, will make some changes here. So what changes I will make? First, I don't need any type, so I'll remove this condition. The second is the date will remain same. The second thing, we will take the column, the next column, which is column G. So this is our profit. You can see here in the profit also. This is our profit. Okay, now we'll take the inventory quantity. So the inventory quantity will be simple, sum and from inventory column. So all the available stock will be inventory quantity, and inventory amount will be the sum of inventory, sum of stock value. So we have all the values here. Now programmatically we will change the date, all the value will be calculated. So we will put here one more subroutine on inventory management form, that will be sub show numbers. In the show numbers, I'll take dim sh as worksheet and set sh equal to this workbook dot sheets, and this time I'll take report sheet. First of all, I'll update the date, the start date and end date on C1 and C2. So I'll use here sh.range C1.value will be me.txt start date dot value. Then C2 I'll take me.txt end date dot value. Alright, as soon as we will update, all the data will be updated here, but the calculation could be in manual mode also sometimes, so we will use sh.calculate to make sure our data is correct. Now we will display the data on the label, so I'll use here me.lbl. so first we will display the purchase dot caption. Here we will display sh.range, and I'll take this cell which is C4 dot value. Just copy and paste multiple times. The next label we will take sale, LBL sale, then we will take LBL profit, then we will take LBL inventory quantity, and we will take inventory amount also. Alright, and accordingly we'll change the value here: C4, C5, C6, C7 and C8, and we will call this show number in first initialize. So we'll call this here. We can copy this and we can call this whenever we will add or update any records. So just call this here also, and same thing here also. We should call this on this refresh button also. We have not called anything here, so on this refresh button everything should be refreshed. So what I will do, whatever we have called here on the initialize forms, same should be called on this refresh button also. Now let me run this. You can see the numbers are available here. You can format the number if it is required as per your requirement. You can use the format function also. So friends, that's how you can create this, and you can click on save button to save this. So we have completed all the parts. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Friends, if you like this video, please hit the like button and please subscribe my channel to get the regular update of my videos. Thank you so much for watching.